Cody Hart?
Yes, I'm here.
Then Cody Hart, you get to go first.
Okay, and these are just candidate introductions for
you have 5 minutes to do your candidate introduction, what you're about, and then
awesome.
10 minutes of questions.
Good. So let's talk about what I've learned as a candidate. This will be a groundbreaking meeting for you guys because you're dealing with a candidate who started in 2020 providing himself to the party, who's been a party member for years, and who has found out what this party really does to candidates. So many of you are aware I'm a leader in state election integrity issues. Many of you have seen my videos. They've been pretty significant in changing the tone of the state. Many of you are aware I'm an infrastructure expert and I have a pretty substantial set of credentials. What you guys aren't aware of is what's been going on with me as a candidate with the party. And some of the things I've seen that most people outside the party don't understand are going on in the Republican Party. I'll share with you that Leif Johnson, I gave him an opportunity about a month ago because he was violating state law and telling people he was an engineer. Leif Johnson is not an engineer, and he has an investigation open into him by the State Board of Professional Engineers. I found out that he simply did not want to accept that I would not tolerate that after I had taken Governor Inslee to court over it. And the party decided to put us in that position. I pleaded with party officials to talk him out of that and to issue a statement. The party has been very interesting to me. I've been told by people within it that there's members of it that have been saying that my work as a private investigative journalist has been debunked. Those people are liars. They are dirtbags. And they have been doing this with the intention of undermining me and a lot of people that follow me. Okay? I was in a meeting with Skagit County, the county I'm a resident of, and I stood there and watched another candidate, Dan here, tell the rest of the group in that meeting that he was not going to run to be a candidate because it would split the party vote too much. And that he felt that that wouldn't be good for the party, and then he filed as a candidate. He's right, it's going to split the vote. It's absolutely going to split the vote. I found out my party, the Snohomish County Party, would not acknowledge I was a candidate in the Snohomish County emails. I confronted them over it. They said that was a simple oversight, but they weren't going to correct it. They were emailing out to everyone in the party that Leif Johnson and Dan were the only two candidates, and Carrie came along, I believe, and they mentioned her. This isn't their fault when the party officials do that. So I've been struggling because I have a heart that is with the Republican Party. But I am running as a MAGA Republican because of this. The party does not want to engage. It does not want to bring into it. It does not want to have a tent big enough for all of the candidates out there. It has an establishment within it that plans on losing the same way it's lost for the last several decades. Okay, I am telling you now that I am not an insider. I'm an outsider. And I am not going to play politics as usual, and people know that about me. So you have now a Snohomish County candidate who's going to be found guilty by a state board of falsifying his professional credentials. You have another candidate who told everybody that he was not going to run, and they decided to run because he knew it would be bad for the party, but chose to do it anyway. I'm here to tell you I am who I am. Everything you see about me is me. It's not somebody else telling you what I am. I stand on my own. I show you what I can do as a candidate. And I'm very proud of that. And I have a very large following, a humongous following. And I am very saddened that the party doesn't understand that it needs to work people within it. They need to accept there are new blood coming into this party. They aren't the old school people who've lost over and over for decades. There are new people who are tired of losing. I don't need the money. I'm a professional and I'm very accomplished. I'm doing this because it's the right thing. The party needs candidates who can take this stuff on head on. And that's not what you got in most of the other candidates. And I'm sorry for that. So, with that said, we don't need to act like this is a group of people who don't understand what this is. You don't need to act like you're amateurs in this industry. This is a business in this state that has lost the voters' trust. That's what it's done. It's lost the voters' trust. You are not engaging the public. You are acting like elitists when you exclude people who are, their hearts are the party. And you do not accept them and make it a competition for who is best for this job. So I want to thank you guys for letting me come here tonight. You're going to ask questions. I will answer them. I guarantee that. And you will get my answer, not someone else's. Thank you.
You can take questions now.
You want questions right afterward?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
So what's your number one issue? Is it election integrity?
Yeah, that's not a question I can say there's the one issue. I can tell you the platform of issues that bother me because they're equally horrible. And I don't think anyone should say there's one issue. They're too narrow of a candidate, frankly.
Okay.
There's so many
tell
issues.
us
Let me talk about them, though. All right, so let's talk about election integrity, which I am still kicking an ass on in this state. Been to Supreme Court representing myself. I generally won, but I lost out of a technicality with how the paperwork was filed. I just got done with a court case in Skagit County. I'm not a lawyer. I keep telling people, so I'm teaching myself as I do this. And I was right about that case too. And we have a judge now that hundreds of people have seen the video, know that judge is corrupt, and know I was right. We have videos came out this week on that prove that the election system in Skagit County can't be trusted. I've been going after the pedophilia movement that's going around our counties right now. I've been going after it hardcore. I'm going to take it out, and I'm proud to say that in my county of Skagit County, I have confronted that movement. The Skagit County Courthouse was posting lobbying symbols of that movement, and they have removed those because of me and stated I am the first person to ever challenge the removal of those, and they're going to establish policy based on what I've done. That is what I am. I'm a doer. I'm not a talker. You guys you've been getting talkers who keep losing elections. That's why they don't win. I want to talk about infrastructure. I'm a state infrastructure expert, more so than every candidate for any position in the state, period. It's not even close. It's not even close. And I helped with that to expose the largest infrastructure corruption in our state's history with Jay Inslee and his army of unlicensed engineers who were consulting the city of Everett, Snohomish County, Whatcom County, Skagit County, every agency in the state for decades. And it is the largest infrastructure fraud in the history of this country. And I was told by members of this Washington State Legislature, Republicans, they were going to impeach him because we finally got him found guilty, a group of private people that I helped get Jay Inslee found guilty of an impeachable offense. They haven't done jack shit. They're not going to because they don't mean what they say. I've taken people to court because I mean what I say. I file my video exposés because I mean what I say. And I will say everything I mean whenever someone asks me a question. So there's no end to the things that are really there. You want to talk about the attack on our society that's going on right now that my daughters have to deal with as students in the school system? I bet all the candidates hate that, but I'm the only one with kids in school. So I hate it a lot more than they do, period. So you want to talk about the fact that we have an economy that's being destroyed and we have inflation at a historic level beyond what anyone in this entire room, I say room, this group, has ever seen in their life. And there's only one candidate, me, who's actually said the only way that it can be fixed, and every economist out there will tell you that. Cut the entire government. The government expenses are what's killing us, and it's going to kill my kids and my generation, not the retired people, although they're going to suffer. Their Social Security's gone. You think this is going to end with the young people just working to death? No, it's going to end with Social Security programs gone. It's going to end with pension programs gone. It's happened in the Midwest during the previous recession. This is going to be historic. And guess what? Nobody's going to say what I just said either, because they're part of the big government problem. Period. I'm not afraid to get rid of any of them because I'm not tied to the establishment on any of this stuff. I don't want to be there that long because it's frankly a horrible place. It's surrounded by a bunch of liars. Okay, I will step down if elected, which I suspect I will be, but I will step down when it's the right time. So people ask me about term limits. I'm not for that. I believe that if term limits were applied universally to everybody, that would be great, and I would be a part of that. But that's not how it works, and that's a childish thing to talk about. So there's those issues. So that's one question. Go ahead.
My name is Bernard.
Hi, Bernard.
What would you recommend that could bring us together?
Bringing us together is to accept that we are Americans and stop allowing these people to make us hate what we are. They make us hate our history. They make us hate our traditions. They make all of us think, well, should I say Merry Christmas? It's been an issue for the last 10 years. I grew up, nobody even hesitated.
You referred to more of the party.
Oh, the party?
Yeah.
I tell you, first things first, get rid of the old that don't want to let go. Their time has passed. You want to invite new people in? You tell them they have a future. You don't tell them that they're going to wait in line until everybody above them has had their part. There are young Republicans that could destroy their counterparts in the Democrat Party, but they are being denied that opportunity because they're being told, you will wait in line, sir. We are still here. That is the obstacle for a lot of people. It's an obstacle for me. I'll tell you that right now. People who have served well in the party, but their time has passed, refuse to let go. They refuse to at the detriment of this party. So that's how I feel about that. Like I said, you're never going to get me to, I'm never going to not answer your question because I do know where I stand on these issues. You know, one issue that got brought up today, and I was the only one that said it. There's a candidate forum up in Bellingham. Dan was there, Kerry was there, Leaf was there, John, I think his name's John. He was there, and I think I was the only one that said this, and nobody, if you correct me if I'm wrong, it was the ending question. It was about the Roe versus Wade, and I'm going to give you my opinion on that right now because I don't think enough people have thought about the trick that's going on right now. The trick is, the question was asked, candidates, tell us your opinion on Roe versus Wade, whether you think that the Supreme Court was right, that this was a state issue or a federal issue. The other four candidates all said the exact same thing in heart, that this was a state issue and they were proud of what the Supreme Court had done. I did not. The Constitution does not say it is okay to kill another American and especially a baby. The Supreme Court was wrong. They were wrong to give that decision to the states because they were allowing it to be a sustained item that states can do. The Supreme Court, you know what it could have done? It could have enforced the Constitution that said that every American is entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Everyone is. So now we're going to deal with this in my generation for another 20 years of these horrible states that are going to be turned into little baby killing factories. And people say, well, I'm glad it's a state issue. I'm not at all. The issue was not decided properly. And for those of you who believe that babies are human beings, how could you argue with me on that? But they are framing it to trap us for another generation, just like Roe versus Wade. It will be rare. It will be only when necessary. And that was the big lie then. This is the next big lie. We're going to deal with it for another 20 years until the Supreme Court takes it on. And hopefully before my kids are dead, because it's going to be another 70 million kids murdered because of this barbarity.
Thank you, Mr. Cody Hart. Really appreciate it. And anything else? Any other questions?
You still have 3 minutes.
Oh, outstanding.
Oh, okay. My
I
gift.
like her.
All right.
So who here doesn't know where I come from? Who here doesn't know that I was a veteran who served overseas, 2 deployments, Japan and the Middle East? Who here doesn't know that I've been fighting for my kids in public schools? I've been fighting against masks. I've been fighting to hold people accountable who've been lying to everyone about this democracy that we have. Does anyone here not know that about me?
I know now. Thank you.
I know now.
Okay, do you know what else is interesting? I put the party to task. I started out going after election integrity, and I've embarrassed the party, and it's crossing around the state right now. I've been contacted by every county in the state to help them out, and I have been contacted by members of the party telling me that I was being undermined and lied about by members of my own party. Bill Brutch is one of them, the chair of the election integrity group. He was lying about me. People were calling me, said, do you know what Bill has been saying about you? I'm like, these are chairs, PCOs all through the state. They say everything you said is debunked, you can't be trusted, and you might be a Marxist. That's what he's saying. They said that he was talking in open PCO meetings about me, lying about my work. Bill Brutch has a letter out there. You guys will find it. I emailed it out to a lot of people in the Snohomish County Party about Bill Brutch and how he has never even attended a logic and accuracy test, how Skagit County has had less than 50% of the election have observers assigned while he was there, and how he never even communicated one time with the canvassing board in my county on behalf of the state election integrity group or my county. And now everyone's finding out that's true. So I've had an exciting time in this world that we're in. I am not a politician, as you can tell. I have no alliances to people who stab me in the back. I am here for the party values that are sweeping the nation, and the West Coast is doing everything it can to stop from taking over the state party in this state. They won't let go.
Thank you.
I have one quick question because I don't know which one, but I was contacted by one of our CD2 candidates. I need to ask you, where is the border of CD2? Where are the lines? What cities are included in Snohomish County you would be representing if you were elected?
There you go. You want to talk about the geographic limits of Snohomish County.
In Snohomish County.
Make sure your
CD2.
question's clear.
Yes.
You want me to name every city? You want me to
Just
name
the
every city in
major-
Snohomish County? Is that what you want me to do?
The
You guys got more
major
class than
ones
this?
that you
Really?
would
Yeah.
We all know Mill Creek is out of it now. It's most of it north. Generally I-5 to the west. All of Island County, all of Skagit, all of
I'm
Whatcom.
talking about Snohomish County. What cities?
Do you not know what's north of Mill Creek?
Yes, I do.
Then you know the answer to that. Do you know it's
Thank you.
Do you know it's west of Arlington?
Of course I do.
We're done. You guys, this is the kind of stupid games that are being played out there. This is real business. Real business. Go ahead. Throw more at me if you want to keep playing these silly games against people who actually have legitimate credentials and qualifications who've shown we are people who can do this. And we are doing it better than people who've had 30 years of trying. So I'm here. I'm not going to go anywhere.
I appreciate you showing up.
Thank
I
you
really
for
do.
showing
Thank
up
you
and thank
so
you for
very
talking.
much.
Yep.